Family, good morning. It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Could I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? I appreciate you checking in with us. Today is Wednesday. It is November 12th, a couple days away from Alabama taking on Oklahoma. A lot to dive into today. Today will be a call-in show. Let me get through a couple of the opening segments as we warm up the show. But I want to hear from you inside the comment box right now. Would you like to see some AK Deer at running back? Hit the thumbs up or type in AK as many times as you can inside the comment box. Again, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate all the support. It's been a wonderful week, and I think overall, there's things to always nitpick at, right? In the college football season. I think when you cover a program like Alabama, the standard is so high that you want perfection. You've tasted perfection before. And I think coming after last year, if you just simply compare last year to this year, there's a lot to be grateful for, right? You look at the trajectory of this team. You look at the trajectory of the overall program, whether that's recruiting, whether that's the wins and the losses. You look to where the placement is in the SEC. You look at the placement in the college football rankings. I mean, honestly, I think it's sometimes important just to slow down, to stop, and just to be grateful where the program is headed, because I think after last year, a lot of people had concerns about the coaching staff. Was this coaching staff going to be able to get Alabama back up to this point? It didn't take long. It always seems long at that point in time, but I mean, year over year, my goodness, I mean, this has been one hell of a transformation, and Alabama's back, okay? So we can nitpick on the running game, but the truth is, Alabama is 8-1. The truth is, the defense is absolutely surging. The truth is that Alabama has not lost a conference game, and the truth is Alabama has one hell of an opponent coming in this weekend for Alabama's homecoming game against Oklahoma, where they are a 6-point favorite. So sometimes you just got to step back and say, damn, you know what? Things are off to a really good start, and things are really trending in a positive way. So don't let this point in time, I know the running game and kind of the lack of the running game, I think it might create some doom. Sometimes people like to live in that area. Don't live in that space. Understand that that is an area of improvement, but zoom out and be like 8-1, undefeated in SEC play, top-ranked recruiting class, 5-star offensive lineman about to commit, 21 touchdowns to 1 interception. That's what my quarterback has rolling. Live in that world. Don't live in the, oh my goodness, this one particular area is where I'm going to live at. No. Like, understand that that's an area that needs to be addressed. That's an area that needs to be taken care of. But zoom out and live in the 8-1 world, all right? Because a lot of positive going on right now with the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, so trending topics this AM. Let me run over a couple of these, and I'll give some AM shout-outs. We'll start with AK Deer at running back. I'll actually come back to AK Deer. I had a video that went out earlier this morning, and it was AK himself that posted on X, and he was like, look, kind of an update of him playing. So maybe that's an indicator that he plays. I'll come back to that in just a second. Josh Pate, the king of college football, is very confident in Alabama this weekend against Oklahoma, actually taking Alabama by double digits against the Sooners. Look, I think that when you look to this game, although the spread is 6, one of the areas that I do feel Alabama could take advantage of Oklahoma is their secondary. Now, we've been wondering about that deep ball number, 2-14 for Ty Simpson, deep yardage passes. But you know what? Watching Oklahoma's defensive secondary, I think that might be a weak spot. So could we see some big plays down the field from some of the wide receivers? Potentially, yes. And as Ryan Grubb did say on Monday, Alabama did have some explosive plays, quite a few against LSU for downfield yardage. I mean, there was a couple to Jeremy Bernard. There was that nice pass to Isaiah Horton. There was that nice pass to Josh Cuevas. There was a nice pass to Lazier Brooks. So Joey Aguilar cooked Oklahoma. There was a couple things that didn't go right in that particular game that Oklahoma took advantage of, but I think maybe the deep field passing attack could be something that comes into play against Oklahoma. And I think the revenge factor, I mean, you have to remember that Oklahoma is a team that took you to the absolute woodshed last year. They're coming in, and look, last year isn't this year, but that's got to kind of live in you somewhere. I mean, think about the Vanderbilt game last year. I mean, there was some revenge to that game as well. Same for for Tennessee and other teams that beat Alabama last year. So that does play into it, and you have to understand that Brent Venables is certainly going to bring it. But Josh Pate, super confident, says double-digit for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I haven't thought about my score prediction yet, to be honest. I don't know where I'm going to live at in a game like this. I would imagine that the over, what is it, Jarvis? I think it's under 50 points for this game. I think you said that on Monday. I think it was like 46 or something like that. So I'm going to take my time before I give a score prediction, which will come on either Thursday or Friday. Look, the college football playoff rankings, those came out last night. That was fun to get together and always do the college football playoff rankings. It's rat poison because, look, Alabama hasn't even clinched a spot in the SEC championship game, you could say. But there are some websites that dictate that Alabama, regardless if they win, all they have to do is win one more conference game, and I think they're slated to be in the SEC championship game. If you look to the ESPN All-State Predictor, Alabama has like a 99% chance to make the playoffs. So that is kind of rat poison because you still have to solidify yourself in regards to maybe a opening bye or playing on the road, things like that. I mean, shoot, Alabama loses to Oklahoma and to Auburn, which is plausible. I mean, shoot, you know, the game against Oklahoma, maybe it could go either way. And the game against Auburn, who the hell knows? So Alabama loses these back end. Maybe they get kicked out of the playoffs. So it's rat poison. It's a one-game season. But I think looking at the college football playoff rankings, and I'll touch on that in just a minute as well, I look at the field and absolutely the SEC should have 5 teams in the playoffs. I understand right now that Texas is a team that's kind of already in the playoffs, and if they're able to beat Georgia, if they're able to beat Texas A&M, then maybe that is a team, 100% that is a team that should be included in the playoffs. Now, if Texas kind of slides and Vanderbilt is able to finish out 10-2, I 100% feel that the committee should take Vanderbilt into the playoffs if they are kind of one of those bubble teams. I mean, Vanderbilt is a team that nobody wants to mess with, and I know you have to take a group of 5, the highest ranked team, which is right now South Florida, which would be a hell of a matchup for anybody. But if you're coming down to like the ACC champ, who has to make it, but if you're coming down to like bubble teams like a Miami or a Vanderbilt, and they both have 2 losses, I might be rolling with Vanderbilt. I mean, that is just a tough team that nobody wants to play in the college football playoffs. So in my mind right now, I got 1 team from the ACC. I don't know if 2 teams make it from the Big 12. You got to take a group of 5, the highest rated, and then, maybe 5 teams from the SEC. So let's see what happens in terms of the college football playoffs. A couple games that we are watching this weekend. You have Notre Dame taking on Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh somehow pulls the upset off, Notre Dame will exit the playoff race as they've already lost 2 games. You have Texas taking on Oklahoma, and you have Alabama taking on Oklahoma right here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. The fourth area that we're tracking is the Alabama defense. My goodness, the defense is absolutely surging. Let me ask you inside the comment box, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is the defense playing right now? I mean, like I said, I don't often give like super, super high ratings, like a 10. I probably live for like the Alabama defense, maybe like an 8, which is extremely high. You look at how they've played in these last 2 games against South Carolina. You look to how they played against LSU. You look to how they've continued to transform week by week, limiting the chunk yardage plays, being a very good inside the red zone on defense, coming up with plays. I mean, they have 16 turnovers overall, 8 interceptions, 8 forced fumbles. They're playing hungry. They're playing active. And I love the fact that you have straight-up playmakers everywhere on this defense. Defensive line, I've named a lot of those guys that continue to excel at a very high level, even if they're on the 2 deep. Like a Keon Keeley, have him come off the bench. He's ready to go. Have an Edric Hill, have a London Simmons. Those guys coming off the bench ready to go. The inside linebackers have been absolutely fantastic. I know Nakai Hill-Green has gotten a lot of love recently, and rightfully so, because the way that he played against LSU was phenomenal. The punch-out, but overall, the guy just absolutely came with it. Justin Jefferson's been playing really well, and Deontay Lawson led the team in tackles against LSU. The outside linebackers, that wolf position, Yanzi Pierre, number 42. My goodness, man, that guy is playing like one of the best players in all of college football. And think about it, maybe Quay Rousseau is a little bit closer to getting back for Alabama. Does that mean you take 42 off? No, that means you just have another weapon. And we have to give a shout out to Noah Carter, who we saw come on the field. We've seen spot play from Justin Hill in that, this season as well. So that area is super, super talented. The Alabama secondary, my goodness. Dejon Lee making plays in the end zone as just a freshman. You got Zabian Brown out there battling. You got Bray Hubbard playing one of the best veterans in all of college football. And Keon Sabb's been playing very solid as well. So the Alabama defense surging 100%. What do I think right now about this game going into this weekend, or about kind of some of these other items that are trending? Well, like I said, I like to live in positive town. And I think going into this game against Oklahoma, there's many reasons to understand that the threat is real. But I think, I like Alabama at home. I'm not an idiot. I know that home field advantage for the Alabama Crimson Tide has been tremendous. 17 consecutive victories at Bryant-Denny Stadium is nothing to sneeze at. Undefeated at Bryant-Denny under Coach Kalen DeBoer is nothing to sneeze at. I also look to the fact that Coach Kalen DeBoer against top 10 teams, I am calling Oklahoma a top 10 team, is 6-1 overall. Against top 25 teams, I think he's like 19-3. So the guy can coach against these superior teams. Now, Brent Venables does have him head-to-head, and I think that Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb and Kane Womack understand what's coming into town. I mean, this is a very formidable team, and a team that is still believes that they have, maybe some hopes for the playoffs. They got a very dangerous quarterback and a very active defense. But overall, I like to live in optimistic town, and I feel that Ty Simpson will outduel another really good quarterback in John Mateer. Let's talk about AK Deer after we give our shout-outs. Let me see who's up inside the comment box. I think I got to set this up real quick to get the comments on the screen. But thank you for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I think we're off to a really good start this morning, and I hope you slept well, and I hope you're feeling good this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. It's already Wednesday. Pretty soon we'll be at game day, right? And it's homecoming. I forgot it's homecoming this weekend for Alabama. All right, Dano, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for always kicking it with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Max Tooney, good to see you, man. Scotty Smith, what's up, bro? Thank you very much for kicking it with us. We have Hacker Music coming to us. Chad Kennedy, thanks for always rocking with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Shelly, good to see you. Thank you for kicking it with us. We have Bruce Williams as well. My boy Todd, thank you so much. We have Bama Nation. We have Andy coming to us from Denver, Colorado. We have Bama Nation. We got Jermaine King. We got Marcus from St. Pete's. We got Bruce Williams. We got Jarvis up in the house. We got Robbie Oots for Heisman. We got Kenny Lattimore. What's up, Kenny? Good to see you, bro. Let's see who else we got up in here. We got Tyler. Good crew up in here, man. We got Justin T. What's up, Justin T? Good to see you, dog. Justin T says this: Kyle, if it's not for the defense, we probably lose to South Carolina and LSU. Yeah, I think you make a good point on that, bro. Milo says, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. And we got a whole good crew up in here inside the comment box. Thanks for kicking it with us this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Hey, real quick, how you can support the show right here on Bama Football on YouTube, a couple different ways. Always hit the notification and make sure that the bells are turned on, right? Like, as you can see, I'm putting out a ton of content. There's videos all the time, so it's important that you see those videos, so make sure that the bells is turned on. Hit the thumbs up on every single video that you see. I don't know why, but it helps the video, and it tells YouTube overall that the audience really likes these type of videos. Very easy to do. It's free, so definitely hit that thumbs up. Fan Fund. There's different levels to become a fan funder. What is that? There's a join button on your mobile phone option that you can hit the join button. You can become a fan funder. Different levels to support Bama Football on YouTube. Super chats. They help a content creator like me go a long way. Remember, I am independent. I'm independently owned. I'm not like a salary type dude. So super chats. I'm supported by people like you. And follow us on Facebook or on social media. I got TikTok, I got all of them, but Facebook is a really good way that you can connect with us. I basically treat it like my website. We got 70,000 fans on our Facebook channel. All right, so talking about AK Deer. All right, so AK Deer, let me ask you to start off the show. Do you feel that AK Deer will play this weekend? Yes or no inside the comment box. Do you think he'll play? And where is this coming from? You're like, well, where the hell is this coming from? And I was kind of wondering the same thing. And I did see this yesterday. I'm on social media as well. And I don't, to be honest, I'd like to be off social media, but I have to for my job because there's always things that are popping off, right? So I remember seeing yesterday AK Deer posted, I think he posted on Instagram, but I know for sure that he posted on X. And he posted this particular graphic, which I'll go to next. This is where all this came from. So on X, he posted update. And this is exactly what it is, right? And a lot of these, there's a lot of You could take this a million different ways, right? For me, like, let me ask you this inside the comment box. From this particular post that he posted on X, what does this mean to you? Does it mean that he's going to play like more? Like on the field, the way that I see it, he's on the field and it says update. That tells me that he's going to play, right? So I don't know. I mean, this is something that everybody was like looking into. And I was like, man, to me, I mean, look, update, him on the field playing. Maybe that means that he's going to play more. I don't know. And you know what? I've been behind the running backs, and I've said that it's not Jam Miller, it's not Daniel Hill. I've kind of pointed to the offensive line, but at this point in time, I'm like, damn, I don't even care. Just try something different to get something going, right? Because being ranked 119th in the nation just isn't it. The last time we saw A.K. Deer was way back in week 2, right? He's only played in 2 games, and he had 5 carries for 76 yards. Everybody was cooking against Louisiana Monroe. They scored 73 points or whatever it was. He averaged 15.2 yards per carry, and he had that 56-yard run that was a touchdown, okay? The guy clearly has it, and it is exciting to think about the future of the Alabama running back position because you have A.K. Deer, and then you also have Xavier Crowell. Like, those are the guys that are coming. Like, Crowell's coming in. How are you going to keep him off the field? I have no idea. And then when you kind of look to Alabama's overall running game right now, and this is kind of a snapshot of where Alabama is through 9 games of play, you see that the only player that has played in 9 games has been Kevin Riley, right? Jam Miller, 6 games played, 88 attempts, 336 yards, an average of 3.60. Those are the highlighted marks over here with just 2 touchdowns. Kevin Riley next on the list, 48 carries, 189 yards, and they really went away from Riley. I think he played maybe just a few snaps last game, took a handoff and really went nowhere, so he has 189 yards on the year. And I think when I look collectively to all of these stats, this is probably the thing that I didn't anticipate going into the season. I didn't feel that Alabama would struggle in the run game. I was asking you, remember, how do we have a 1,000-yard running back this year? I think I said no. I think I said you had 2 running backs that were maybe like, I don't know, 800 and 700. But this right here through 9 games is really shocking. So, I mean, for Jeremy Bernard to be the 4th leading running back on this squad screams a lot of different problems. And I get it. You guys are calling for Daniel Hill to get more opportunities. You know, he doesn't have a lot of volume right now, but his average per carry is the same as Jam Miller. So I don't know. I mean, is A.K. Deer? Sure. They're surely not, you know, they went away from Richard Young. They're not playing him at all. And got to get something going. Sometimes, you know, just getting a fresh back there, maybe that can change kind of the momentum of the game. But I know everybody inside the comment box, one more time, do you want to see A.K. Deer this weekend? Yes or no inside the comment box. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Let's see A.K. Deer. And maybe that post meant nothing. Maybe that just meant that, you know, he's doing work and whatever. But maybe this post right here that he posted a couple days or yesterday, maybe this means that we're going to see him soon. And like Jay Williams is saying inside the comment box, maybe it just means free, you know, well, he's saying free Young. Richard Young. Man, Richard Young just vanished, right? So let's see if we got some A.K. Deer coming up in the pipe this weekend. As I mentioned, we'll touch on this. So a couple more things to go before I take your calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And I hope you guys are doing amazing. I'm so grateful also, man, because, man, I got under the weather this weekend. Man, and it was I was down for maybe like one day, but I think when I made some momentum was I went straight to the doctor, right? And I told him, I was like, look, I don't have a lot of time to play around and kind of wait for, you know, my body just to, I need a steroid shot. So boom, I got one and I was back in the game. So that helped me, and I was down maybe for like a day, and I feel so much better. I think my voice is still kind of coming around, but as you know, I don't often give my voice an opportunity to slow down. I mean, yesterday, I think I posted like 17 or 18 videos or something like that. It was crazy. But work needs to be done. I mean, that's just how it is. All right, here's the college football playoff bracket that came out last night on ESPN. I watched it on the app, right? I told you my journey. I have an antenna for ABC, and I have the ESPN app, and that's the life that I'm living. And it's been a pretty comfortable life, to be honest. I haven't had much to complain about in that regard. These are all projections, okay? This is not the final playoff bracket. It kind of gives you a snapshot. 1 through 4, those teams have not changed. I even said, look, I went under the hood, and I have been one of the probably the small college analyst that has been trying to poke holes in Indiana. When I pulled up the hood and went like stat by stat for Indiana, I was actually blown away. One of the stats that kind of stands with me to this, maybe 2 stats about Indiana that stand with me is not only their record 10-0, but the fact that they're number 1 on offense on third down conversions, and number 2, I think, on third down conversions on defense. That tells me a lot about your team. And also, they're very balanced. They have 255 yards passing per game and 230 yards rushing per game. So those type of numbers stand out to me. They do have quality wins, against Oregon. I guess you could say at Penn State. That is kind of a difficult place to play at. They haven't played the toughest schedule, but overall, Fernando Mendoza, those guys have caught my eye. So I have a little bit more respect for Indiana in that regard after doing a lot of research the last couple of days. Texas A&M, I think, is a very dangerous team. That quarterback would be an absolute menace. With that said, they haven't played the most challenging SEC schedule. Alabama, clearly, out of these 4 teams, have played the most difficult schedule. If they beat Oklahoma this weekend, you could throw on, this is the only team in the country right now to beat 4 teams in the top 25. You add on Oklahoma, that would be the only team with 5 victories against top 25 competition. This schedule has been hella hard, right? And you still have Auburn on the back end. You look at some of the first round matchups, South Florida would be terrible to get in the first round for anybody. Alex Golish can probably beat most of these teams on here. He's that good of a coach. I don't know, they have the overall talent to make a run, but they would be kind of, they could be on that upset watch. And it seems to me like Georgia and Alabama are always on some sort of collision course, but usually the best teams aren't they? Notre Dame in there with 7-2. They have 2 losses, 1 to A&M, 1 to Miami. In this projection, they would play Oregon. Oregon survived Iowa. That is a team that I am still kind of questioning is Oregon right now. They do have 2 games on the back end, taking on Washington and taking on USC. I could see them dropping a game. One of those games on the back end. You have Miami right now at 7-2. It was kind of a head scratcher to me because Miami's not even number 1 in the ACC. So I need to go back and listen why they had Miami at 11. Because to me, it should be the ACC champ, which is right now Georgia Tech, but I guess they went off the rankings. But if you go by who wins the ACC, it would have to be Georgia Tech. You have Texas Tech. And look, you guys are really big on Texas Tech. Me, not so much. This is another team that I'm going to have to spend some time on doing more research. I have watched them play, and I understand that their quarterback wasn't healthy when they lost to Arizona State. I also say that Mississippi State beat Arizona State. Is that much of an argument? Not necessarily. I just feel that like a team like Vanderbilt probably beats Texas Tech, but you guys love Tech. So I'm willing. You know what? It's very rare. You know me. I'm not prideful enough to just be like, this is how it is. If you guys bring up good points, I will definitely follow your guys' lead because we all watch college football. There's some other things that I might not be able to see that you guys bring up. So I'm willing to give Texas Tech some opportunity. But, man, seeing them number 6, I'm like, how would they do if they had, a schedule like the SEC? How would they do if they had a schedule like Vanderbilt? Could this Texas Tech team beat a team like Tennessee, who I think is a really good football team? All right, you have Texas, who right now is already in the playoffs in my mind, right? They are taking on Georgia this weekend, and then they have a game against Texas A&M. I think if Texas loses one of those games, they're clearly out. And then Ole Miss. I brought this up. Is Ole Miss a team that can really make a run in the college football playoff rankings, in the college football playoff bracket, rather? They got a really good quarterback. They got really good components on offense. Lane Kiffin, it seems to me like Lane Kiffin has a lot of confidence. I mean, he always has a lot of confidence, clearly. But it seems like he's doing a little bit more trolling. He has a really good opportunity to finish out 11-1, and no one's really talking about Ole Miss. That's one of the teams that not a lot of people talk about is Ole Miss. So as I was saying last night on the show, I was asking you, is Ole Miss a team that has enough talent to maybe win the whole thing? AR17 inside the comment box says, Ole Miss is scary. So I guess we'll have to see, but I watched them a couple times, and I'm like, ooh, man, that quarterback could certainly be a problem. All right, Week 12 games that are on the slate. College game day will be at Pittsburgh to watch Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. I think that is still 10.5 for Notre Dame. And you have Oklahoma taking on Alabama. I think that line has slid down to, 6? Is it 6? I think it's moving a little bit. And then you have Texas taking on Georgia, where it's 6.5 for Georgia. Did you see that Ty Simpson and Arch Manning are exchanging notes? I thought that was cool. I'm sure that happens all the time. But basically, long story short, is Arch asked Ty about Georgia, and I think Ty has asked Arch about, a couple other teams along the way. They've been helping each other out. They're friends outside of all this. So glad to see it. In fact, Jarvis is saying it's now 5.5. Is that 5.5 for Bama in Oklahoma? Has it slid down that much? Wow, that is interesting. When it first opened, I saw that Alabama and Oklahoma, when it first opened, I think it was at 14. So that's kind of how much it's shrunken down. Interesting for sure, 100%. Hey, fam, as you know, this video is powered by Sleeper, right? You download the app, you get $20 upon entry, or if you get, you make a $100 deposit, you get matched up to $100. Terms and conditions apply, right? And you can use the promo code, which is tailgate. And let's see, actually, on Sleeper, if we could do this real quick, because I was checking the more or less for Sleeper this week. I'm just curious to see, because usually, and I'll have this for Thursday, but I am curious to see when we go to our picks what they have Ty Simpson and John Mateer throwing for this weekend. Man, because you know what? On my parlay this last week, I thought Ty would throw for more than 268, and he threw for less. So let me just ask you real quick, when we look at the passing yards for Ty Simpson and John Mateer, okay? And I'll bring it on the screen for Thursday. But Ty Simpson, eyes up. Will Ty Simpson throw for more or less than 270 yards? Ty Simpson more or less than 270 yards. This season, kind of looking at the statistics, he's only thrown, he threw for 277 against LSU. Well, I guess I got that one right then. But, the last couple of games, he threw for 277, 253, 253 against Tennessee, 200 against Missouri, 340 against Vanderbilt. So that kind of gives you an idea of where Ty Simpson is. So more or less, Ty Simpson, 270 against Oklahoma. All right. Mike is saying less. Ephraim is saying less. Nate Turner is saying more. All right. So it's almost like there's more lesses in here. I don't know. I'll have to come back. We'll make the final picks on our parlay tomorrow. And then our other one is this one. Eyes up. All right. John Mateer, more or less 200 yards. More or less, John Mateer, 200 yards. And you know what's crazy? Oh, my goodness. This is wild. So on Sleeper, when you go to the interface, it has, quarterbacks and passing yards, running backs and rushing yards, receivers and, receiving yards. For example, it has Ryan Williams, Josh Cuevas. But for rushing yards, it doesn't have anybody listed for Alabama. Nobody listed on Sleeper for Alabama. That's crazy. That's the first time this season that we haven't had anybody from Alabama. Wow, that's crazy. And you know what it says? Alabama selections are not available yet. Wow, that's interesting. So you know what? Call me crazy, but maybe we watch the availability report tonight when it drops at 7:11 p.m. Because why would they not have a running back listed? That's interesting. Okay, so download Sleeper, support Sleeper. They're my friends, and they should be your friends too. All right. Also, you got TickPick, all right? I'm going to play a quick commercial on TickPick. TickPick is another sponsor I'm trying to bring on board. You want tickets to any concert, music festivals. You got to download the app and use the promo code, which is HMA. I got a promo commercial coming up, and then I'm going to take your calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You know that Morgan Wallen is coming in, okay? I'm a country music fan, so are you. HMA is a promo code. You got to download the app. Dan Caraway, if you're here, tell him how much you love TickPick inside the comment box. I'll be back in 1 minute right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but one of my biggest pet peeves is hidden fees when buying sports tickets. Why can't there just be one particular price that is set, and that's the price that I actually pay? If there was only an app where hidden fees didn't exist, well, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, TickPick. All right, huge shout out. With over 20 million downloads, TickPick has you covered. NBA, NFL, concerts, festivals, you name it. TickPick gives you the lowest price guaranteed. No fees. What you see is what you actually pay, okay? And, of course, I have a promo code for you. You can use the promo code, which is HMA, for $20 off your first set of tickets at TickPick with the purchase of more than $100. That's $20 off any tickets with the promo code HMA. Make sure you click the link in the description box and you download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, TickPick. All right, fam, that is our message from TickPick. All right, so the call line is open. 205-850-1994 is the call number. I got some trending topics on the right. You got A.K. Deer at running back, your confidence level going into this game, anything college football ranking related. You got a bold statement, let me know. You want to give somebody on the defense a shout out, let me know. You know what? I'll give a defensive shout out. I got two. All right. I don't know if Mr. Ebony Carter's inside the comment box, but you know what? Can we get a thumbs up for her son, Noah Carter? I saw 24 on the field. He looked good, right? I know where he is on the depth chart. You know, you got to continue to just wait for your opportunity, but I thought 24 looked good, to be honest. And I want to also highlight 16. Red Morgan. Those are kind of some underrated players, you know, guys that are, you know, still in development, waiting for their turn. But Red Morgan, I don't know. That guy's on. He got the juice, man. Some people have it, and right now, for me, if I was like a coach, it would be hard for me not to, put Red Morgan on the field more because that guy is fire. He's playing 5,000 miles an hour. Okay, Red Morgan, I wouldn't be surprised he makes another play this weekend against Oklahoma. All right, so let's go to the call-in line. Let's see who we got. And, okay, you know we got to lead off with golden mashed potatoes out of Montclair, New Jersey. We got Chris from New Jersey. Hey, Chris, you know, it's almost time, man. You know what's crazy is, time flies because this golden mashed potatoes, I've been talking about them for a year. Are these coming out for Thanksgiving again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to send you a picture of those too, Kyle.
Okay, yeah. No, 100%. I want pictures of these golden mash. He makes them every Thanksgiving. I keep up with what you guys are doing for your life. And out of Montclair, New Jersey, we got Chris with the leadoff call, man. Welcome onto the show. Come with it.
First, Kyle, most importantly, how you feeling, buddy? Because, you know, we need you, man.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm feeling great. I mean, there was never a time where I felt that I was doubtful. It's always game time for me, but I feel a lot better. I was under the weather there for a little while, so glad to be back. Got some quality sleep. Feeling really good. So thanks for asking, man. But I'm all good and 100% for this Saturday's game.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And I know it's late, but I was on there yesterday. Any vets, thank you for your service, but most importantly, thank you for our freedom. So, I'm a patriot. So, Kyle, I got to tell you something. I'm a little nervous. I am, you could probably say in the chat, Chris is a nervous Nelly, but first of all, I don't like that the spread is keeps on coming down. I think Jarvis is probably nervous too. And listen, Vegas is, these guys, these are the geniuses of our country. Forget all these politicians. The guys, how do they get the over-under almost every time? How do they get these spreads all the time? It's amazing what they do. So that makes me a little nervous. I want to say something about Jam, and some people are kind of saying some stuff about Jam. First of all, this is our guy. You guys got to leave this guy alone. Remember, he had a hurt shoulder. Then he took that terrible hit against Missouri. He had a concussion. I think Jam is going to be back, and he's going to put some yards in the books on Saturday. But that's why my prediction is kind of – this is my lowest prediction of the of the season so far. I'm going 21-17 on a tight one. It's going to be. I think it's going to be in the beginning. It's going to be a real defensive battle. I think the most important thing for us is we got to hit that quarterback. If you hit him, that kind of takes the wind out of his sails. But if he starts taking off and running, then that opens their passing game. So, listen, I'm a little nervous, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're going to win this thing. But remember, the one thing we got, we know we get everybody's best every week, Kyle. But they're playing for their lives. But if they lose, they're out. So I'm nervous. So I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm sure we'll talk later in the week. So let's thank you for what you do. Best to you, best to the undefeated. Roll Tide, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, thanks. Leading off with Chris from Montclair, New Jersey. We got a 770 and a 737 coming up next. I got a poll going on right now inside the comment box. I said, what is your confidence level going into this game? High, mid, we too low, bang, ding, ow. Anybody remember that when that plane crashed and there was an intern reporter who got in and he typed in the name of the people that were crashing? Do you remember this? This was crazy. He got fired, obviously, but to come up with that on the fly was crazy work. Do you remember this? It was like bang, ding, ow, we too low, something wrong or something like that. Do you remember this? This was crazy. So I got we too low in here and bang, ding, ow. I guess bang, ding, ow would be like that you lost. That was crazy, though, when that intern did that, right? All right, 770, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where you calling in from?
This is me, Lucas, calling from Georgia.
What's up, Lucas? How you doing, man? I know you've been battling, so give us you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I'm doing fine. And you know what? I mean, you might think I am nervous with this game. I'm really not. I mean, and I want to tell you why. And I won't go back with the last caller when they said about Jam Miller. I kind of like that because remember, Jam was out with that shoulder, and then he came back against Georgia. Then he got that big hit against Missouri, and Coach DeBoer should have benched him right there for the next. Don't keep playing him like he did with A.K. Deer. With Derek Meadows, my bad, with Derek Meadows, when he got that hit, he should have set these two guys down together. And so that way he could get his head clear from that concussion. And I think he still got that concussion in my opinion. That's why you see Jim Miller missing holes like he's been doing. That's why he's not blocking right. That's why he's giving up. Like one of the games he did, he missed a block, and the guy went around him, and he got Ty Simpson. And so, but I still got confidence in Jam. But I got to say this: he needs to sit down. He needs to sit down on the bench, bring somebody in, because if we got Jam in there, we're going to lose the game in the running. And he needs to sit down because he still got that concussion in my playbook. He still got it because he's playing awful. He's playing awful.
Do you feel that? Do you see something within Daniel Hill? Do you want to see more Daniel Hill?
Daniel here and A.K. Deer. And I want to tell you something right now. This is what I want to say. Let's move Joey Bernard to running back because I think Joey Bernard can get that running back room going and then move Jam Miller to receiver. So that way it would make both worse because Joey Bernard would get on to the offensive line and say, hey, you need a block for me. I'm in the game. You block for me. I mean, I got the ball in my hands because Joey Bernard was feet up. So that dude is legit. So, I mean, that's what I got to say about it. I mean, but I want to give you my score prediction. I got Bama losing this game. I got Oklahoma winning. But you guess what? I mean, if we do lose it, I won't give Coach DeBoer credit. He did good this season, and it's a better record this year than last year. We get beat, and we just move on to the next game and finish out. And so we won't give too close a clap to Coach DeBoer. You did good. Yes, you want to make the playoffs, but guess what? What it is. You have faced a good gauntlet of a schedule. So, man, you still good. I mean, that's why I look at it.
All right, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it, man. Calling again next time. All right, man. Roll Tide to you, man. He's got Oklahoma winning this game. I would understand. I think there's a lot of people that have nervous feelings going into this game. I mean, you remember last game. You look at the statistics. You look at the defense. You look at the offense is struggling. I don't know about Jeremy switching positions, though. I am impressed how they've been able to utilize Jeremy. I love that. I mean, he's certainly a Swiss Army knife. He will be an NFL-type receiver. I met him in person one time earlier in the season, and one thing that stood out to me was how, Jeremy Bernard is a very well put together man. I mean, he's got to be 210, maybe 215. He's a big diesel dude. I mean, I don't think people realize how big Jeremy Bernard is, and I think that on Sundays he'll be ready for the call. All right, 737. Hey, Mike, is that you out in Austin?
Yes, it is, Kyle, but I am in L.A. right now. I'm in Lower Alabama right now. So.
Lower Alabama, man. Okay, all right.
Yes, where I'm from, man. I'm born in Saraland, dude. Went to B.C. Rain High School, so I'm just back home for a few weeks. So,
okay, yeah.
But roll tide, man. Roll tide, dude.
Welcome on to the show, Mike. Mike coming in to us from the real L.A., that is Lower Alabama. Come with it, bro.
That's right. Hey, man, I feel pretty confident about us winning the game, and really not, rat poison confident, because Oklahoma's a real good team, and they have an excellent, if not the best, defense, and they have a capable quarterback, and they seem to have momentum, and they have something to play for. So, that's a dangerous team to play against, and they're good, man. I mean, but I'm just going to have to just go big picture where Alabama's at right now. We're on just this historic momentum. We're on this roll right now. This is a revenge game in Tuscaloosa. We got something to play for, too, and I think we're a little better than Oklahoma, and we have a good quarterback, too. So with that being said, I'm not going to say, yeah, we're going to smoke them, man, we're going to take them. I'm just going to say I think we win. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I just think Bama's on a mission right now, man. I mean, we're lining up and knocking down these top 25 teams in historic fashion, and I think Oklahoma's going to be the next one, dude.
Yeah, let me ask you, and I appreciate the confidence going into this one, and kind of a realistic confidence. You see Texas, right? I like to ask you about other schools from the SEC. You have Texas taking on Georgia. How do you see that game shaking out? Do you feel there's any chance that the Longhorns can be able to beat Georgia down in Athens?
Absolutely, there's a chance, man. Texas has pro players all over the field. They, for some reason, the way their schedule laid out, playing Ohio State and then 3 high school teams and then a bye week and then, the conference play. Yeah. They kind of had a anomaly season a little bit, I guess. But, dude, they're definitely one of the best teams in the country. It pains me to say that. Arch Manning's probably one of the best quarterbacks, although he hasn't, he's struggled and hasn't found his way much. When he does, he has flashes of brilliance. But absolutely, there's a chance for Texas, and they've got something to play for too, man. Texas, they have 3 games left. They play Arkansas, but they also play at A&M in Austin, Texas A&M. They play them in Austin. And then they play at Georgia this weekend. Number 2, epic games. I'll be surprised if Texas can win both them games. Texas may lose both them games. But one thing right now, Kyle, what's so great about this new format of college football, this late in the season, so many teams still have so much to play for. I mean, from Bama to them all, dude. All these SEC teams in the SEC and some scatter just have so much to play for. So all these epic games of this one, us in Oklahoma, then the Texas and Georgia, that these other ones playing out, man, just going to separate the good from the average, or let me rephrase, it's going to separate the elite from the good. And the reason I say that is because in the SEC, good's not good enough. I mean, you got to be elite if you're going to make it. But, dude, Texas is absolutely in it, and it would not surprise me. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Georgia's going to win, but it would not surprise me to see Arch Manning put up 500 yards and Texas win, dude. That would not surprise me at all. But they're in it, dude. Everybody's in it. It's an epic season. And, Kyle, after we lost to Florida State, that's why I told you and everybody that would listen, don't throw the towel in, man. It's such a 16-game season. It's going to be an epic exit season.
Yep.
Let's just get through this and find our footing and give these guys a chance to find an identity. I mean, that's everything in college football. Because, a lot of people look at the X's and O's, man. I don't do that. I look at the timing of the season, trends and patterns, and rhythms and flows. That's kind of how I look at things. Like right now, there's talks a lot about the running game, right? Well, there's a lot of X's and O's with the running game that's above my head, dude. Like, I'm not – y'all know more about X's and O's than I do. But all I know is about the running game. It's a very, very important part of our offense, and we cannot abandon it. Absolutely, we need more production out of it. No question about that. But, dude, I think we're running and throwing about half and half, and sometimes our guys get pretty good clips on the ground, 10 yards, a first down or whatever. But it's just a part of our balanced offense for the most part. And the only thing I don't like about our running game is when we run on first down. But I never like that about the running game. But I like to say, I think if we stick with it, eventually our running game is going to win us a game. I don't know when that's going to be, but you got to have a balanced offense. We can't abandon it. Now, as far as the X's and O's, if y'all want to try A.K. Deer, absolutely. If you want to try somebody else, I don't think Jeremy Bernard, but maybe some. Real quick, too, 'cause I don't want to keep you forever, but I know I know the trick plays, right? You've been talking about these trick plays, right, man? And you're not a real big fan of. You're not a real big fan of. But the only thing, but I'm a fan of it because it keeps the defense. When you play these epic, fast SEC defenses, it's good to throw a wrench like that. But the thing about trick plays is, you know how it goes, man. If they're successful, the coach is the smartest guy in the world. If the trick play is not successful, the coach is the biggest idiot in the world. There's no in between. You know what I mean? That's why there's such a risk on it. You know what I mean? But I'm all for them. This is why, because for the most part, they've been somewhat successful for the most part, at least for a first down or touchdowns or whatever. But they've been somewhat successful. The ones that haven't been, but it keeps the defense guessing. It's just a part of the defense, I think, like a part of the offense, like what our running game, and like I say, just this. I'll let you go in a second, but Kyle, we have been on an epic 5 or 6 game run, dude. I mean, like a historic, like in the history book proportions of knocking down 5 top 25 teams in a row. We just got to keep that in mind, dude. These are these teams of Vandy, Missouri. These are between them. I think they had 1 loss or 2 losses. These are tough teams we're playing, and nobody can make it through it like we did, dude. We've got to give our guys credit. But Kyle, I'll let you go on. Hey, keep up the good work, man. Roll Tide, dude. Keep up the good YouTube work, and I enjoy listening to you, man. But you take care, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, thanks, Mike calling down from L.A. 251, let's do it. All right, thanks for being patient. Welcome to the show. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Randall from Mobile, brother. How we doing?
Hey, Randall, what's up, man? Good to talk to you on this fine Wednesday, November 12th, man. Welcome to the show. Randall calling in from Mobile. Come with it, bro.
Well, first off, I would like to say, for the guy who is just on, go Spartans. I hear Sarah Landon here, baby. Represent. Other way. Now, I said this I think it was the first time I called. I know we're talking about running backs and A.K. Deer and Jan Miller and Daniel Hill, this, that, your mom and my dad and whoever wants to put on a helmet. But we also got to talk about the O-line. I don't feel like it's the running backs, man. I truly feel like it's the O-line. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I have a question for you, Randall. What type of dog we got back there?
Oh my God, dude! Don't get me started on that dog.
Is it a Great Pyrenees? Because I heard that those dogs. My dad has a Great Pyrenees, and the dog is massive. Dude. My dad lives on land, but he says that this Great Pyrenees won't shut up. He just says it barks all the time. So what type of dog we got?
I have a German Shepherd, right? Massive dog. I'm talking like 100-pound dog, right? She is the sweetest dog in the world. You come outside, this dog sounds like the most aggressive dog ever made. You look, and it's like a poodle, dude. I swear to God, I don't know exactly what kind of dog it is, but it's like 3 inches long. But it is like ready to tear my head off, dude. And I don't know if it's because, obviously I have a dog with me right now, so it might be seeing my dog, but, yeah, dude, I don't know. it's more aggressive than our running game is. I know that.
All right. So, yeah, I think I think it's on the offensive line. I really do. But the thing is, man, I'm willing to see another running back get some opportunities just so we could at least see.
I'm willing to see.
You know what I'm saying?
Too.
That's why, and I get it. Some of our fans inside the comment box are like, it's not logical. Maybe these guys aren't ready to go yet. I'm willing to see at least if we saw some different running backs, then we could be like, okay, well, it's not the running backs. Yeah. It's the offensive line, or it's the scheming. At least we could eliminate some factors. But if we keep AK Deer on the bench, we're never gonna know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, well, at least we're throwing in a guy who's played in a game before. I mean, it's not like we're shooting up a guy who's never played a game before. I mean, AK Deer's got game experience. You know what I mean? So I mean, we're not playing a guy who's just going out there blind. But if I trapped you in a room and every time you tried to get out the room, I just shut the door on you. I mean, I don't think it would be your fault. It'd be my fault for keep shutting the door on you. Yeah. So, I mean, every time a running back gets a ball in his hands, if they're not creating him a hole to run through, and then I hear the jet sweep thing all the time, which I'm a fan of jet sweeps. I like jet sweeps, but if the jet sweep is leading you not to the sideline but out of the sideline, then what is a jet sweep do? You understand what I'm saying? I don't think it's the running back. I think we're giving our running backs a little too much crap, and we're not talking about how these boys aren't giving them holes and opportunities to create 10, 15 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking what they're given, you know?
Sure. All right, Randall, I appreciate the call, bro. We'll catch up with you next time, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. Thanks. All right, that was Randall calling in from Mobile. 240. Hey, welcome to the show. Yeah, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Andy G calling from Hagerstown, Maryland. How you, buddy?
Hey, Andy G, what's up, bro? I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in from Maryland, man. It's been a minute, man. Thanks for calling in.
You bet. I hope you're feeling better. Hey, next time you get in that situation, go to Zycam.
Zycam? What? Tell me, what is that?
I started taking that because they used to be a sponsor on Rush Limbaugh's old show.
Uh-huh.
It tastes like a baby aspirin. You let it dissolve in the roof of your mouth.
Huh.
And don't drink or eat anything for 30 minutes. That stuff works really good.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm kind of back, because, being so active, during this time of year with football and all that stuff, I don't really have any time, because if I'm not doing content, I'm driving my little girl around or, I got teenager. So, yeah, so I appreciate it, man. So thank you so much. Feeling much better. But anyways, welcome to the show, Andy. Come with him, bro.
This running game, I've been trying to watch film. Like I like to go back and watch Roman Harper talk on Read and React and stuff like that. And do we run any zone blocking schemes? Have you noticed?
I don't. I think a couple things that stand out for me for scheming wise when I look at Alabama's running game is kind of the sequences that they run the football on. And what I'm talking about is like a first down. Like I'm not sure if I'm running like a 1st and 10 with like a Kevin Riley. And sometimes it's weird. It's like a 3rd and short. You won't give the ball to Daniel Hill. So that's why I kind of go to scheming. And I know who is it? I think it's Matt from Mobile calls in a lot, and he's asking for a lot of sweeps. You don't see a lot of sweeps, and I pointed this out kind of on the last time. If you watch the Colts and how they utilize Jonathan Taylor, right? It's beautiful. But also with that is Taylor is patient as hell, right? He's able to kind of see what the offensive line is kind of given to him. So I don't know like what we have going on with the running backs. I'm as confused as anybody. And I know there's some, there's people that have broken down film and this and that. I'm kind of going after the offensive line, but like I said, I'm open to try AK Deer. I mean, just something has to get going because they're too one-dimensional.
Right. Well, see, you made a good point because last week I noticed our running backs, they're running with their head down. And if the first hole ain't open, you don't see no bounce. And I watched all those yards that Taylor put up for the Colts. And that 175-yard run he had, the hole was closed. He bounced outside, and he was gone.
Yeah.
And we don't seem to do that. We always seem to block man on man. I can't remember the last time I seen a guard or a tackle pull. And it's just like we're running with our head down. And I noticed that with Jam as the first hole ain't open. He don't seem to be, unless it's really, really, he understands it's a really, really critical time that he's got to get to the sticks. If you bounce outside, you can get to that first down marker because it gives you another 20 yards to make up the ground. But I haven't seen much of that, so I don't know if it's scheme or what it is.
And I kind of wonder, too, is like you think about the road graders that we were supposed to have kind of in the preseason with kind of all the gas up, right? Like Jaden Roberts, has he became that, kind of road grader that he thought we would have? Or, Cam Dewberry, is that one of the areas that he kind of lacks? So maybe it's kind of on the guard play a little bit. I don't know. It's confusing to me. And I've gone to offensive line. Because the undefeated, the comment box has gotten back to me, is that it was like now I'm starting to think it's the running backs. So I've kind of gone back and forth, but I do feel that, and then I also start to kind of go into the thought is like maybe Ryan Grubb, he had these struggles last year with the Seattle Seahawks, the exact same thing.
Oh, exactly. It's why they got rid of him. So that's why I'm wondering if they're not running any zone blocking, because it seems like all the teams that run the ball well, Notre Dame, for example, even though they really ain't played anybody, they have a lot of zone blocking schemes, where you got guards and tackles pulling. Jeremiah Love, if it ain't there, he's going to bounce to another gap, and he's gone. Mm-hmm. So, it seems like we're not patient enough, just like you said. We're not seeing it. I noticed how many times Jam just seems to be running with his head down. Like he ain't seeing, you said be patient, see where holes open. I don't think he's seeing that. So anyway, we'll see what happens Saturday.
We will. We will. What's your confidence level in this game going into Saturday? You still highly confident or kind of in that mid-range?
I'm kind of in that mid-range because it's going to depend. They have got to play Mateer defensively the same way they played Diego Pavia. You cannot let the rush get parallel to his drop back or past him or he's gone, right? Mm-hmm. And they have to cage him in, and they can do the same thing with Marcel Reed. If you cage him in and make him beat you with his arm from the pocket, A&M's going down. And it may not be us, but it's going to be somebody. Because right now, when they move the pocket and they get him moving around, he's fine. But you don't necessarily have to sack him to affect him. So for Mateer, I think you got to cage him in, box him in until everything really collapses and he's got nowhere to go. I think that's the key to the game. I think that's a huge key to the game. So I don't know how you feel about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you got to get it going because right now you're just too one-dimensional. I mean, the high-efficiency passing is something that you could certainly, hang your hat on, but I think that it's only going to go so far because LSU shot themselves in the foot. Same thing with Tennessee. I mean, other teams that you play later on down in the SEC championship or the playoffs, they're not going to have those same type of mistakes, and I think that could ultimately be a reason why maybe they can't capture what they're going for. But who knows? I don't know. The defense is playing elite, but I appreciate you calling in, man. Please call again, and I'll check out Zycam for sure.
Can I make one more quick point about our kicking game?
Yeah, sure.
Connor Talty is fine as long as you don't put him on the right hash mark. Have you noticed? You play golf, don't you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So when he's on the right hash mark, he's got a hook.
Yeah.
He's got a hook. When you put him on the left hash mark and he's got to hit a little push, he's pretty good. I mean, he's made some good field goals. But I notice every time they get him on the right hash mark, I'm crossing my fingers, watching that game, thinking, okay, well, is the hook where? It's like playing golf. You never know when the hook's coming, right? You can't play. You can't play like that. So,
the best advice for golf is just to take a lesson right before you start. In that springtime, hook up with that's when I get the lesson. Is not after a couple different rounds. Before your first round, go out there and make sure your shoulders are good. Your right arm isn't kind of too far down because there's a lot to go with golf. But I love golf as much as anybody else, 100%. I can't wait to get back out. It's been too long. Thanks for the call, though. I appreciate it, man.
You bet, buddy. Bye.
All right, take it easy. All right, 601, I think we got Javion. Hey, Javion, what's up, man? Thanks for calling in. What's up, bro?
How's it going, Kyle? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Welcome on the show, bro. I hope you're doing well, and come with it, man.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Got a little going to Arizona, Buckeye, Arizona. So when I go to Buckeye, Arizona, I'm wearing my Alabama Roll Tide gear.
Yeah.
Just I don't like the name. I tell my wife that. I got a question for you, Kyle. First of all, I think it's I heard somebody say, and I had to think about it. He played like a little footage. It's the execution.
Mm.
He said he don't feel like it's the players. I mean, he don't feel like it's the coach. It's the execution.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I think it's the O-line coaching.
Mm-hmm.
If our guys aren't being coached correctly
Mm-hmm.
to run block, then that's why they're so bad at it. At the same time, I'm not saying our running backs coach isn't good, but if he's not coaching the running backs to go around or teaching the running backs or telling them if he like to a vision, I guess my question is, if they're not seeing the vision, the whole like that previous caller said, to go around on the outside, like bouncing around, then maybe it's a multiple things. It's the coaches, it's the scheme, and it's the O-line. It's all three.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, as a lot of people have pointed out inside the comment box, the film guy breaking it down and kind of looking at the execution, pointing out the running backs, the lack of execution from the offensive line. We have a lot going on here. And is that something that can be fixed, in time for the SEC championship or the playoffs? I have no idea. Is it worth giving another running back an opportunity? Probably so. But we'll have to see what they do, because the last two games, the running game has been pretty much non-existent. I don't even know if you've had a chunk yardage play. The other thing that I wanted to bring up too is, like, how do y'all feel about Ty? The interesting thing about Ty is he has not showcased his running ability yet. Maybe he's saving that. I know there's like people that feel like he's saving, something for the end of the season. That's smart, right? He's saving and doesn't want to get hurt. But Ty can run, man. If he lets loose, man, he's a dual. People don't understand that he's a true dual threat quarterback. He really is, man. What else you got, Javion? Anything else, bro? Why we got you on?
Yeah, I agree. I think Ty Simpson is saving it. Like, to be honest, I mean, I'm kind of optimistic about it, but I think the running game is saving for a big game. I mean, I'm kind of hopeful that they're gonna break it out in the SEC championship game. Apparently, we'll make it. But I got one more thing, Cal. So hypothetically speaking, apparently we win all our games, but recall Ohio State losing against Michigan, not making it to the Big Ten championship, but yet won the whole thing. I don't like saying this. I'm gonna beat myself up for saying this, but if we lose to Auburn and we drop down to number 8 seed, for instance,
yeah,
not make it to the SEC championship, could I think with the what's happening at the beginning of, and this loss happening, I hope it doesn't take this, but I think that loss would cause us to go on a tear just like Ohio State did. Just
I think there's a website out there where if you punch in kind of the results, it spits out who will make the SEC championship. I'll link it inside the description or inside the comment box. It's a really cool site. I love it. And if Alabama wins tomorrow, or Saturday rather, they're a lock to play in the SEC championship game. And if they lose tomorrow and beat Auburn, the same thing. They're still a lock. So they just have to win 1 out of 2. If they lose both, I haven't played around with that scenario. Obviously, they wouldn't be playing in the SEC championship game. But the thing is, they would probably, I think if they lost both, they'd probably be out of the playoffs, right? Let's say they have a home field game in the playoffs. Sometimes I like that because you stay hot, right? Sometimes you have an added bye week and you don't come out as hot. You kind of lose some of that momentum. So either way, you just make the playoffs. But number one, beat Oklahoma and try to figure out this run game. But anyways, man, thanks for the call, Javion. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time. Be safe on the road, and we'll catch up with you next time.
I appreciate it, Kyle. One more thing to say. I don't know if I'm about to say anything about it, but AK did post a picture of him in the backfield, like catching the ball.
Yeah.
It said ...
Yeah. Yeah, I think you might have tuned in a little bit later, but we talked about that earlier on the show, and I have a video about it, and that's why I was asking people, is like, does this indicate that he's about to play? It sounds like it to me. I mean, because he posted a picture of him catching the ball, and he said, yeah, I think he just said like ... or update or something like that. So
yeah,
that to me that meant he's about to play.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, is he gonna be a receiver?
Yeah.
Like,
All right, dog. Good to call, man. I appreciate it, man. Be safe on the road. See you, bro.
I appreciate it.
All right,
I love you, Kyle.
Yeah, love you too, bro. All right, take it easy. All right, 704. Hey, thanks for being patient. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Kevin from Charlotte. How are you, man?
Kevin, what's up, man? Thanks for giving us a call today, man. Kevin from Charlotte, come with it, bro.
Of course, man. I won't be long-winded on this one. Just want to comment on the running game, and I agree with a lot of what's being said, but there's also another aspect to it that it might be purposeful, right? It's if you look at the way that Grubb and DeBoer ran their offense, both in Washington and Sioux Falls, it wasn't balanced. I mean, they were heavy on the pass, right? And we've got the dudes. We've got the dudes at running back. So you can't blame it on personnel because the personnel is there. It's probably scheme. It's probably very purposeful by the coaching staff. But, I've seen it said here and other places that that's not going to fly when, the further along you go in the season. You get to, let's say we go to play the SEC championship and we play Texas A&M. They make you one-dimensional and you can't put it all on Ty's shoulders. The guy's been a genius, but I just don't think it's going to fly. You had mentioned a minute ago, is this something that we can fix? Is something that could be fixed, before Auburn or before the SEC championship game? I don't know if there's maybe. I mean, I don't know if there's any fixing to do. The coaches might feel like, well, we got this. We've been doing this since, after the Florida State game. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see some more balance. I've been an Alabama fan for a long time, and it's run the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
We like to see it, Alabama fans, but, who knows? One other quick thing I wanted to say, and it's the defensive shout out. I commented this at the beginning of the show, is that I gave up on Payne the second or third game of the season, and said that he wasn't fit to be an SEC defensive coordinator. He didn't have what it takes, and I'm eating my words now. Yeah. I think the way the defense has come around and the way that these guys have played their tails off every game, it reminds me of when Sinceri was on the team and they had the no-fly zone, and all those guys, you could see it on the field. They were all like, a well-oiled machine working together and just trying to get the job done. And the changes that he's making in game, I give big shout out to Kane Womack and that entire defensive staff and players as well.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday or Monday when he spoke to the media, the opening that he said that this is the fastest that the defense is playing with. And that kind of made my ears perk up because I was like, I 100% see that. And I think they do have kind of that swagger that, you know, is carrying over to their play. I mean, whether it's the D-line, the inside, the outside, the secondary, everybody's playing fast. I don't see anybody slowing down, and that is a big reason why Alabama right now is ranked number 4 in the country. And I think when you look to the top teams, we know that Ohio State has a very good defense. Indiana has a hell of a defense. You know, A&M has had a pretty good defense. But Alabama, that defense is for real. And I think if you're Oklahoma right now, you understand that maybe you have some opportunities on offense or on defense because they're, you know, the run game is on the struggle bus. But I bet there's real concern about Alabama's defense within their coaching meeting right now. I bet you they're like, we're going up against one hell of a defense. We got to figure out a stop 42. How can we take advantage of the secondary? Where are the holes? I mean, this freshman's playing outstanding. Bray Hubbard back there knocking people's heads off. You know, the inside linebacker is the most veteran experience in college football. So, yeah, they got a lot to handle. So I know a lot of it's been kind of on the Oklahoma defense, but I think if you're looking in the Oklahoma room, I bet they're really, nervous about facing the Alabama defense. Anyways, good call, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yep.
Take care. Roll Tide.
Yep, take it easy, man. All right, we'll take a 334. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, or where are you calling in from?
Ronnie from Lee County.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in, man. Come with it.
Okay, so the offensive line appears to have solidified 3 positions. With the center was already solidified in Proctor, but the last 2 games, Jalen Roberts has taken every snap at right guard. Then you had 3 guards playing on the left guard. Dewberry, Vandermark, and Sanders split reps. Formby took most of the snaps on right tackle, but the freshman took about 16 snaps. One thing I might try is unbalanced line sometimes. Pull Roberts over to the left tight end beside Proctor and run some football over there. See what they thought about meeting those 2 guys in the hole.
Man, that would be terrible. And, you know, the thing about it is last year you had an H-back like Robbie Oots, right? Are we missing that guy this year if you do go 12 personnel? Because I could see you're drawing this up beautiful. So you got Proctor, Roberts. That sounds like a nightmare. And then you add in an H-back. I don't know if you have an H-back this year. I know Caleb Edwards is a big dude. But there's a difference between, you know, he probably still has some development. Even though he's like 250, Robbie Oots was like 275 last year. And you could really get something going behind something like that. And they don't have like a designated fullback or anything like that. But you do have a running back that is 250 pounds. And that's why I think a lot of people are kind of calling for Daniel Hill to get some more opportunities. I don't even think he has 40 carries this year yet, right? Max Tooney mentions Danny Lewis. Danny Lewis is a big dude too. He's like 6'5", 250. But maybe they are kind of missing that presence back there. But I do like kind of the switching up the line. But I have been noticing that Jaden Roberts is playing more. Anything else you got, Ronnie?
Danny Lewis missed the last game. He's probably your best blocking tight end. So that will help if we can get him healthy for good and not miss so many games. But that would help in the running game.
All right, Ronnie. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. All right, have a good rest of your day. Take it easy, bro. All right, we will go back to the phone lines, and we'll take this 405. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Zach, better known as Bill Effing Murray from Norman, Oklahoma.
I was waiting for your call. This is your time. You called in last year.
Yeah, you knew.
And,
you knew I couldn't let it go by without giving you a holler.
100%. All right, so Bill Effin Murray inside the comment box. He called last year and basically told us exactly what was going to happen during the game. So welcome on in. What's your take on the 2025 version?
Okay, so last year you could really feel the energy building here in Norman. You could feel just the silent confidence that got me real concerned. Like that Alabama was seemingly oblivious coming into that game. This year, I think there's more concern. There's more of a concern. I think they don't feel as good about it this year. It's going into, obviously the game's in Tuscaloosa. Both teams are better. I mean,
Yes.
Oklahoma's better, but Alabama's better, and they know Alabama's better, and they know they're not sneaking up on Alabama this time. And when I look at all the things, like you look at all the goals we got, we can even get one more loss probably and still get in the playoffs. We got that going for us. We got SEC championship hopes going for us, and we don't want Oklahoma to ruin that. Sure, but I think what should be even bigger than that, let this game be about vengeance and manhood. Let it be. You got your manhood slapped down last year. Look, come out with a swagger and with a violence and intensity. To say, let it be an example to all other teams. You don't do that to Alabama and get away with it. And if you look at the Vanderbilt who beat us last year and Tennessee who beat us last year, those were some of our larger margin of victories this year.
Yeah.
So I do think that's kind of being done. I do think there is a vengeance factor this year. And Oklahoma, I talked about this last year, that silent hatred, that silent, just animosity that Oklahoma has because they feel like that it should have been them winning the national titles the last 10 years instead of Alabama because then they were just in the wrong conference. And that's part of the reason they joined the SEC was to man up Alabama. And so they're going to bring it. They're going to have their hair on fire, just like last year. I think that so my concerns are the offensive line, of course. I don't want to name out a single player, but, you got to be a little concerned with Formby. But also, last year, that Oklahoma defense attacked some of our strongest players, and they still got through. So, obviously, the offensive line's got to give Tyler some time. But I will tell you something else, though, and this does not get talked about as much in the media as I think it should. I think Mateer can easily be rattled and throw some picks too. I think if Alabama's defense, if they can get to him and they can fluster him up, I think he'll throw some picks. I think he can. I think he's more prone to it than gets talked about.
One thing that stood out to me, I'd like to get your take on this before I let you go, is, look, I get it. The very active Oklahoma front seven, right? Like the most tackles for loss in the country, number 7 in sacks, 10 sacks against Auburn. But I did notice in that Tennessee game that I recently watched that Joey Aguilar had a lot of opportunities downfield. I'm talking 20, 25 yards downfield. Does it seem like Oklahoma's secondary might be one of their weak spots on this team?
Absolutely, it is, and it does not get exposed enough because the front seven is so good. They get to a quarterback so fast that they don't have enough time to really make those accurate throws. But yes, I was going to mention that the secondary, Oklahoma secondary, is very vulnerable, and if Tyler can have enough time to make those accurate throws, I think that, and I think if we can get some defensive interceptions and get Mateer trying to rattle it up, I think it could kind of be a runaway going our way. It's just I think it comes down to how much time we give Ty and how little time we give Mateer. I think I'm going to predict cautiously an Alabama win because like I say, if for nothing else, it's the fact that we're not sneaking up on them this year the way we did last year. But I am, when I say we, I'm an Alabama fan, by the way. I live here in Oklahoma. I'm an Alabama fan. So I'm going with I'm going to say a 27-20 Alabama win. But I'm hoping it can be a little bit more solid than that if they can do those things that I touched upon. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good call. You have a lot different energy year over year going into this game. But last year you told us straight up, and I don't think there was a lot of – I would have never, ever in my wildest dreams thought that Oklahoma would have beat Alabama. And it wasn't even a win. It was a straight-up beatdown. I mean, Brett Venables said last year, he's like, we punched them in the mouth, and they absolutely did 100%. Nobody saw that coming except, I guess, the people in Norman and you. But yeah, like the optimism this time.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I called. I was hoping somebody would get word to the players, hey, this is going to be a bigger fight than you think. But But yeah, I do think that there's a little bit different feel of a little bit more concern this time around. That I think they know the fight is going to be brought to them this time. So yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the call, man, and enjoy the game on Saturday, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after the game.
All right, man. Thanks. All right. Hey, fam, if I didn't get to you inside the call-in line, don't hold it against me. We ran a little bit, not that there's any real timeline to the call-in show, but I have Coach Kalen DeBoer's SEC press conference here at 11:30, so I need to prep for that in case there's anything that pops up on the injury report. So note that if he does say anything and he talks at 11:30 in regards to an injury or some news that comes out, please stay informed. Hit the notification so maybe I'll drop a video if it is anything big. But also be active on our Facebook channel. You can become just a follower of our Facebook channel by following that link right there. I think we're up to 70,000, and we got 116 right here on Bama Football on YouTube, which is pretty amazing. So we're going to continue to pull that momentum through the rest of the season. I sincerely appreciate your guys' super chats, but you guys just calling into the show and all the feedback right here on Bama Football on YouTube. There's always a lot to talk about, and I get it, the running game. But as I kind of close out, live in a positive space, right? Fall into the world that Alabama is 8-1. Fall into the space that the recruiting has been fantastic. Fall into the space that Ty Simpson has been operating at an absolutely elite level. Fall into a space that the defense has been playing extraordinary, right? Live in that world. Is it going to be perfect? No, but there's always room for improvement, and you got to trust Coach Kalen DeBoer, what he's been able to do year over year, because I think there was points in time where we've called out Kane. We've called out, Ryan Grubb seems to be getting a little bit of the heat right now, but things have changed, and it's gotten more positive week by week. So appreciate you being here today on the show, Bama Football on YouTube. Remember, 11:30, Coach Kalen DeBoer, with his SEC teleconference. If anything comes up from there, I will keep you posted right here on Bama Football on YouTube or on our Facebook page. And back as news happens, as always, I've been dropping some 4 a.m. Wake Up Bama podcasts that have been fun to do. And, of course, news as it happens always right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Run the Table Sports, dog. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well with the fam. Dan Caraway, good to see you, man. Byron Walker, Chad Kennedy, the whole crew up in here. Mindy Miss Careless, Shelly, what's going on? If I didn't give you a shout-out, don't hold it against me. You know that I got love for you. I got love for you. All right, people. I love you guys. Thank you very much for watching right here on Bama Football on YouTube. News as it happens. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine